Hi, this is G-Man Trading Community. My friend, I want us to learn about vetting a good broker. And from our previous lessons about CFD, we have learned a lot. You have understood a lot about CFD trading. When it comes to pip counting, pip values, lots, we have learned about combining lots and pips, and we have seen the magic that they can do, and we have learned the history of CFD, who came with it. We have learned about leverage until to this point that now we are learning about the best broker, because now without the best broker, my friend, even with the knowledge that we have learned, it will be useless, because someone else would be stealing your money without you knowing, but literally you know how to trade. Now in this system of CFD, we have seen how it is so hectic. You have to learn a lot of things despite not using all what we have learned, but literally knowing how the system works. Then you'll be at peace at your mind when you engage in this sector, because you won't be in a panic whatsoever the market does, and you'll be at peace. So that's one of the most important thing. Even people don't fear like betting, but literally know how the system works. If it is casino, those people who play blackjack, whereby they spin the wheel, they don't fear. As far as they can master a strategy of how they would play, they never fear. So even in this sector, you don't fear. You always come up with a way to tackle. But one thing is that you have understood how the system works. You have seen that this is very, very risky compared to sport investing. And from this point, let's dive in and vet a very good broker and understand about brokers in this industry. Let's go on. Hey, my friend, did you learn in our previous lesson how, as retail traders, our door was open for us to engage with the market? Yes, we have done that. We have learned how we came to enter into the forex market, whereby the retail brokers spotted an opportunity from the spot market, and they introduced categories of accounts which they brought mini lots, and then later brought the micro lots, and then they introduced something else called leverage, which could now bring a lot of people in the industry, because in the CFD we learned that you need a lot of people in the market, because people are not interacting with the real asset. So people are trading on the imbalances, so someone else has to take a particular side for the other to take the other side, so that whoever comes light takes the money, and whoever goes long has to pay the money. So let's go on. Now today we are going to look at the quality of a good broker. Before you go any further, there is two types of brokers in this industry of CFD trading. One, market maker or dealing desk brokers. Two, we have ECN, electronic communication network, and STP, which is straight through processing. So we have market makers or dealing desk brokers, and we have ECN brokers, which refer to electronic communication network, and STP brokers, which are straight through processing. One, which is the dealing desk. Let's now cover dealing desk brokers, and then later cover the ECN and the STP brokers. Dealing desk brokers or market makers. A dealing desk broker is also called the market maker, creates its own internal market. So these are one of the disadvantages of this market, is that they make their own internal market. How it works: you trade against the broker, not directly with the bank. So this is one of the disadvantages. Now the broker can even bring something called conflict of interest, because now trading against the broker, which it is still the same that is holding all the systems, so they can manipulate the market. If you are in profit, you could see now the spread which we talked about, the gap between the ask and bid, that it has widened up, and widening up you'll have to pay a lot. And then something else is to breach something like leverage, whereby you could see even market has gone just a little space and you are in a margin call. So there's a lot of disadvantages of dealing desk brokers. When you buy, the broker may sell to you from their own liquidity. Now these are dealing desk broker. Many traders are matched internally between clients. So another thing they do is that they match traders, whereby if I open a position, then another trader is matched with me. If bought, they look for a trader who sold, so that my trade and the other traders trade, they match. That's how they match internally between clients. Let's go on. Key features: fixed or variable spread. Now one of the disadvantages, account called standard account. So they produce something called a standard account with a fixed and variable spreads. This is what they do. So you could see in a low spread, whereby it's a zero spread account, Euro USD is at zero, totally zero. But on a standard account, you have 1 pips, whereby it is 10 point. And we will see in a practical manner, whereby I will try to show you in a broad way. So you could, now those are the variable spreads, which now those accounts are called the standard account. They are not zero spread account. The reason is because the broker is the one which has those internal market. It's creating its own internal market. Another thing is lower minimum deposit. Now this was a trap, another trap, but literally the low minimum deposit even in the zero spread account is still there. So higher leverages. Now you could see they introduce more than 1,000, 2,000. There's a broker I know, I won't mention it, but it has a leverage of 2,000. So if you deposit maybe something like $20, it is like a flash. It is being flashed like a twinkle of an eye, because the broker is not is a regulated broker, yes, but it's not a good broker. Another thing is faster execution, but can manipulate. So they do faster execution, but they can manipulate. They can introduce some drag or something else, because it is something they are the one who are controlling. Sometimes they recruit or delay. This is what I was talking about. They recruit or they delay a position. So if there is maybe some fundamental news, they could delay when you execute a closing position. They delay to close until when you are in loss. So those are not good brokers. And let's go on. How they make money. The dealing desk, they make money from spreads. We had that in an account of a standard account, they have to add some spreads so that they can make money. And from where something else called from client losses, because they take the opposite side sometimes. So they make money even from client losses. Your loss is their benefit. So they are happy when you are losing. They are happy when you are losing, because you won't demand any withdrawal. So that is very big disadvantage of this kind of trading, which is called dealing desk. Let's go on. Risk, conflict of interest, that is major. That's number one. We can't even try to talk about that. That is number one disadvantage. And the risk, stop hunting. But it's rare today still, but still possible. It is still possible, but even today I do see it. Stop hunting. Something else is trade manipulation potential. Trade manipulation potential. That's what I was telling you, that they could add some spreads. They could manipulate a lot of things when you are trading against the broker, because at the end of the day, if you become a winner in those positions, the broker will have to go deep down its pocket and pay you. So they'll do, and remember they are the one who are owning the systems, so they can do you very very bad. But note, good brokers are safer even if they are market makers. So we have a lot of we have not many brokers, but the one which started these systems early in 2000s, some of them are better and some of them are not good. So when looking for a market maker brokers, it's very very hard. It's very hard, my friend. But let's go on. So the broker number 2 are the ECN brokers. Let's learn about what is ECN. So ECN, electronic communication network. This is the purest form of trading. The purest form of trading. How it works: brokers connect to banks, hedge funds, and liquidity providers. So now the advantage of ECN brokers, or electronic communication network, they connect you to big banks, hedge funds, and liquidity providers. So they are no longer the one which are trading against you. Your trade is against the big bank or the liquidity provider. Very very liquid areas. So let's go on. Orders match in real market, one of the advantage. Secondly, the broker do not take any position side. That's one of the advantages. You see low spread from banks, sometimes even zero, especially for Australian dollar USD and Euro USD, it is zero. So you see your potential to go into profit is very very high. It's very very high. Secondly, the broker is happy because when you open a lot of positions, that's where they will cut a lot of commissions. They will cut many commissions, and they'll make money through that load. So key features, let's go on. Ultra light tight spread, that's one of the advantage, from 0 pips to 0.3 pip. Very very tight spread, very tight. Another thing is that you pay a commission per lot. So you could see, maybe you are using IC market, you pay for a standard lot like is $3, and when you are using FP market, for a standard lot is $4. So for a standard lot, and then you could divide by 10 and divide again by 10 depending with your account position opening, whereby now you'll see how much you have to pay for your position to open. But it's very very reasonable and favorable. So you pay commission when you open. So there's no something like standard account. This is not a standard account, so you have to pay commission, and that's how the broker generate money. Something that no requotes, real market depth, and we have faster execution during volatility. So the broker will not delay. These are the parts whereby the market makers you do delay. So if you are trading news, they do something called delay when you open a position in a volatile market, because when you go in profit, they are the one to lose. But whereby the broker is not against you, they'll open your position without any kind of manipulation. Let's go on. How they make money: through commission, not your losses. Very very important. Downside. Now these are the downside, but you'll see even the downside of ECN trading is still very good. So higher minimum deposits sometimes, but better off. So you could see in an IC market you need $200 for you to trade, but literally they dropped that even to $1. So people never knew, but you need a lot. And some accounts like FP market, maybe the lowest you can go is $10, but they literally say that you should deposit $100. So it's very very favorable, and it is very reliable. So lower leverage sometimes, but better love. So before this broker like FP Market, they offer 500, 500. We talked about leverage, 500, and for FP Market they were 500, but later introduced 1000. Something else is sometimes larger slippage because it is the real market. They are taking data from the real market. And you remember, in market makers, they have their own system which make their own market. They make their own market. So ECN is more professional. Now you can see, even with this kind of downside, but they are still good. They are still good in this system of ECN trading. Let's look at STP. It's a middle type. STP is straight through processing. So this is between market maker and ECN. This is between market maker and ECN. No dealing desk. One tick. We have a green flag, and trades pass through liquidity provider. But higher spreads than ECN, no records, no conflict of interest. So it's like sort of like a hybrid. Most regulated broker today are STP or ECN hybrid. So you could see in STP, straight through processing, they are using an ECN so that when you open a position, is taken direct to the liquidity pool. So it's a sort of not a market maker and not a dealing desk, but still not an ECN, because they do have some bigger spreads. They do have some bigger spreads. Let's go on. Please note, it's not that market makers are not regulated, but they have a lot of dramas because they are trading against you. So when you win, you are an enemy, and there is a lot of cases of people denied withdrawal because it's painful to them. So for the ECN, they are happy when you make money because you will be back as a customer. The ECN system, they are very happy when you make money because you are not a threat. In fact, they benefit when you open a position. The commission that you pay, if you open 10 positions and they are maybe you are using one standard lot and they are charging $4 per position. So if you open 10 positions, that means they have made $40 without manipulating the market, just commission. So you could see now the ECN systems, they are happy when you make money because you will be, and you'll be encouraged to come back and trade again. Let's go on. Now from my list, my brokers, IC market and FP market, these are the ECN brokers. Note when you get long when choosing a broker, you making money in this industry is hard, my friend. When you get wrong when you are choosing a broker, you making money, my friend, is very hard for you. So one thing you have to be correct is having a broker, the best broker, the right broker. It's very important. So these are the requirements of a good broker. 1, regulations and license. One of the key factors. Make sure the broker is regulated by the recognized regulators, ideally top tier regulators, are licensed from credible global regulator like Financial Conduct Authority. This is the CFA, which is very famous in UK, and Australian Securities and Investment Commission, that is ASIAC, and Cyprus Securities and Exchange Commission, which is SYSEC, adds credibility. Secondly, transparency on terms of fees and fees. So the broker should clearly disclose all fees, including spreads, very important, commissions, which is very important, deposit or withdraw fees. Let's talk about this. When deposit, you could see depositing in a broker is very easy, but to withdraw is like a rocket science. The broker will delay. You don't find even those buttons for withdraw. So it's very, very good, very wise for you to look when you engage with any broker. Just see the ease of withdrawing, because when you are able to withdraw easily, I think that broker is very good. Because a lot of brokers, they just put a very hardship when people withdraw. So another thing is the overnight trade. Overnight trades, they are cut something called swap rates. So it's it's very important to look how much is cut for every maybe whole standard unit when the position goes overnight. So, and inactivity fees, but this is not supposed even to be cut, which literally we are not cut of inactivity fees, meaning that this time that if you stay so long when you haven't traded, your account is somehow terminated, but when you come back you will have to open another account, and the broker will not charge you anything, etc. And a lot of things. Hidden or void fee structures are major red flag. So if you see fishy movements in the account, you should stay away from that broker very, very fast, because you and losing money, you are friends. You losing money is one of your goal on that broker. So then the broker should clearly describe its execution model, whether it's a market maker or a dealing desk or ECN or STP. They must disclose. They always say that we are ECN brokers, so that when you come to trade, you know what you are dealing with. So let's go on. So you know if they trade against you or pass your orders to the lead market. That's very, very important to know. Like I said, if you know what you are dealing with, you don't fear. If you know what you are dealing with, you don't fear, because you won't cry. You know you are in a very risky situation, very risky area, and you know what you expect in there. Let's go on. Safety of clients' fund and compliance. That's another thing that a good broker should have. A trustworthy broker should keep client funds in segregated account, separate from the company funds. That's a good broker. So if you go to something like FP market or IC market, they put your money in a segregated account far from the broker, and that's why it takes maybe some few hours when you press an withdraw button, and it will take some few hours for your money to reach to your account, because they put your money away from their company, which is very that's transparent. So this way, if the broker has problems, your funds are protected. That's why you see in IC FP market, withdraw takes hours because their accounts are separate. So you could see now those are the qualities of a good broker. Is a broker that is giving you hope when it comes to trading. You will see that there is something left in the industry, despite that these systems are created by the broker, but there are those dedicated to do the right thing and make this industry as a business. But others are these, some even regulated, but the actions that they do in the market, you literally even wonder, how did they get their licenses? Now let's go on. Account type, minimum deposit, and trading conditions. Those are another key features to look in the broker. So a broker could even have a lower deposit, but when you withdraw they put some limitation. When it comes to withdraw, you have to withdraw more than 50, so maybe or 500. So you'll deposit a little, but you'll have to trade and trade and trade until you reach the amount that will be needed for you to withdraw. That is a bad broker. You have to deposit $1 and you are able to to withdraw the same dollar. That's a good broker when it is like that. So they don't put a lot of repercussions, a lot of problems, a lot of puzzles when withdrawing. That's unfair. So another thing, let's check whether they allow small accounts size. Important if you don't have much. So you should look that whether the account allow small account size. Another thing is spreads, the leverage, but we talked about that. Here down we have some two dashboards. This is IC market and this is FP market. They are not seen well better, but when we go to practical, we'll see all this. So this is IC market. You could see in a low spread account they charge $3. We have low spread 3.5, something else called standard. But we said that despite the broker having a standard accounts, it doesn't mean that it is not regulated or good broker. But it's your choice. Now they offer two ways. You can open this or open this low account, which you deal direct with the liquidity providers. When we go to practical, we'll have all this. We'll have all this and I will explain deeper, showing you directly. But at this point, my friend, you have learned a lot of things. You have understood the whole industry, and I believe you are so happy for that. Now consider subscribing as we go now to our last video, which will on this theory series, and will be about charts. We'll see and we figure out what is charts and how they came to help in this industry. And thank you.